methinks how slow this old moon ways. She lingers my desires.
4 days will quickly steep themselves in night. 4 nights will quickly dream away their time. And then the moon, like to a silver bow new bent in heaven, shall behold the night of our solemnities.
Hippolyta, I wooed thee with my sword, and won thy love doing thee injuries. But I will wed thee in another key, with pomp, with triumph, and with revelry, whether you like it or not.
Hello, I'm Ben Hopwood. I'm the director of A Midsummer Night's Dream. It's being put on by Leeds Arts Centre. And tonight we've had callbacks. So we've had, prior to today, we've had 3 really good audition sessions where everyone came and auditioned for the various parts that we've got. And what tonight was asking a few of them back so we could really dig in and play with the pairings and play with the characters and help us basically refine those last couple of decisions that we've got to make. And we've had some incredible auditions and some really hard decisions to make. So, you know, tonight has been really valuable and allows us to really actually find the cast that's going to put on this crazy show. I think rather than coming into it as a sort of powerful angle, which you found, and a sort of a control, come into it more in a kind of like, oh, here comes the toddler's woken up and is going to shout at me.
Okay, yeah.
He looks really like essentially a petulant child.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you're soothing, but then when he sort of kicks off, you're patiently explaining why things are going wrong, gets more and more and more and builds.
Okay.
And actually, let's play into that petulant thing. I think you can start possibly in the same mode, in that kind of Ilmet and Tari Rashwantan actually aren't that big and aren't that angry. It's more kind of like we're just coming into this environment. But I think that do you amend it then? You're being pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and let that be really big. Like you're giving back as good as you've got. Yeah, I think the auditions were incredibly rewarding, but we tried really hard not to lead anyone and to see where they took us. And that resulted in just having so many different people give so many good reads that, yeah, it was, well, at one point I was saying I can't see the forest for the trees because I've got so many different shows. I could do this show 3 times over and it would be a completely different show with these different interpretations.
Do you amend it then? It lies in you. Why should Titania cross her Oberon? I do but beg a little changeling boy to be my henchman.
Set your heart at rest. The fairy land buys not the child of me.
Lovely. Thank you very much. That was great, and I had to go for a lot longer than I should have done, so I appreciate it. What you're responding to when you say, I must confess I'd heard so much, is Lysander has said, yeah, but Demetrius has slept with this girl and never talked to her again. He is in control of a room. Mm-hmm. He's an orator. He's big. He's intimidating. He's loud. And everything he says has a veiled threat to it.
Ill met by moonlight, proud Titania.
What? Jealous Oberon and fairy skip hence. I have forsworn his bed and company. Angry winter change their wonted liveries, and the mazed world by their increase knows not now which is which. And this same progeny of evils comes from our debate, from our dissension. We are their parents and
do amend it then!
I keep coming back to this idea of a kid and a toddler having a tantrum, but try and find a moment where you've done this big thing, yeah, and shocked her into silence. You're then reassuring her. Like, all I want is this. Yeah. I just want this, and then I'll go my way. So it's that kind of chance to find a really big Theseus moment, but then find some Oberon of like, look, I'm just being reasonable. You're not being reasonable at all, but you think you are. I've heard a lot of interesting things about how one does dream and whether one focuses on the night or the summer or the dream. I think I have seen some excellent sort of outdoor performances. I've seen some excellent sort of go down to the globe and see that sort of true to how it would have been performed at the time. And I thought what I want to do is find the relevant beats in this story that communicate to us. And the only way I felt I could do that was by bringing it into the modern world. So we have a modern setting. We have this kind of northern England, Leeds, city, factory kind of setting that we've put everything in. And that makes it really interesting, because then you're trying to look at this very heightened, very elevated, very magical and mystical script and find where the reality of each of these characters is. Where is the thing that we'll empathize with as a modern audience? And yet it is one of the great Shakespeare stories, and it's got some marvelous and mad and hilarious moments. But when you're sitting down, I think, or at least when I was sitting down to try and find where my dream was going to be, it was in looking for where the reality was. Because I trust that the humor and the magic and the mystical elements we will find. But what I wanted to have was people going away going, that was hilarious, I loved it, I identified with it. That, if we can pull that trick off, then, we have succeeded.
The Finch, the Sparrow, and the Lark, the place on Cook Grey, whose note full many doth do mark and dares not say nay, for indeed, who set his wit so foolish to burn.
I pray thee, gentle morsel, sing again. Mine ear is much enamoured of thy notes, so mine eye embroiled to thy shape, and thy fair virtue's force perforce doth move me. On first view to say to swear, I love thee.